Do you remember the first time you felt immersed? Like truly, fully immersed. When a game world swept you off its feet and carried you straight into its world. 'Cause I do. It was around 3 a.m. during middle school. I couldn't sleep and it was the weekend, so of course, as I always did, I booted up Skyrim. I was playing for a while, wrapped up in my cozy blanket with my controller in my hands and my Beats headphones on. I thought they were cool at the time, so don't judge. I was walking around the plains of Whiterun, hearing the wind blow across the plains and watching the grass blow with each gust, and then the music hit. Think it was Secunda by Jeremy Soule, and I just had to stop and pause and look up at the aurora just glowing overhead and the two moons shining over the landscape, and I was just in awe. To me, this is one of the most fascinating aspects of video games, and it seems to me to be the only artistic medium to truly capture this feeling. The feeling when the entire world and your problems just slip away, and you're left standing, transported to a completely different world, even if just for a moment. And to be honest, it feels so therapeutic, and it's one of my favorite feelings. When a game is just truly firing on all cylinders and everything comes together to just form a perfect moment. It's in these quiet moments and the spaces in between that I feel the most immersed in a game world. Hey guys, I hope you're having a great day. I'm Strider27 and welcome to my channel. Grab your coffee, your tea, whatever you like and settle in. First of all, I just want to thank everyone for the love and support you gave me on my last video, and for 100 subscribers. That's insane to me. I just started this channel for fun and to discuss some of my feelings and love for video games, and I just wanted to thank you all for sticking around and listening to me ramble. But anyway, let's get right into it. So Skyrim isn't the only game that captured this feeling for me. Almost every RPG/open world game that I have truly loved has given me these in-between moments. The times when I'm not rushing to complete a quest or fighting a boss, but just letting myself exist in the world these developers have created. These are the moments when I feel the game is, like I said, firing on all cylinders. The sounds, the music, the artistic direction all working together to create a moment that stays with you long after you stop playing. Take Red Dead Redemption 2 for example. I remember the start of the game after you finally survived the cold of Coulter and you come down the mountains on carriages to the land just bathed in sunlight. And the track That's the Way It Is begins to play as you're coming down from the mountain. It was the first of many, many moments in this game that left me just in complete awe, taking in this incredible world Rockstar created. And to this day, Red Dead Redemption 2 is my favorite world Rockstar has ever created. I still think about this game from time to time, not only for the story, which absolutely stuck with me, but also for the moments in between, such as fishing on a secluded mountain lake, just listening to the birds, or hunting a legendary animal and just camping beneath the stars. It's these moments where I felt like I was truly just existing in a living Bob Ross painting. And you just have to take a moment and appreciate what the team was able to accomplish. Another recent game that was able to totally nail this feeling for me is Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. I love hiking and going for walks in the woods, and this game, more than I think any other I've played, made me feel like I was actually walking through my local woods. I would just take a winding path through the deep forests, and you're treated with some of the most realistic wildlife and ambient sounds I've ever heard in a video game. Hearing the crunch of the leaves and the weight of my armor clanging with every step, and the birds calling out just creates this amazing atmosphere that truly transported me into the world of medieval Bohemia. I love getting lost in this game, just taking an old path with trusty old Mutt by my side, looking for buried treasures or just a secluded grove to appreciate. This game has some of the most realistic feeling landscapes I've ever seen, and almost every gameplay element is designed to ground you to this world Everything from eating, sleeping, blacksmithing, alchemy, and even the combat takes time and effort. And now, I know for some people this is just tedious, but to me, these gameplay elements feel like little therapeutic mini-games in themselves. I would find myself some mornings just making a cup of coffee and brewing some potions for a while. Reading the alchemy book and foraging out in the woods for new ingredients was just such a rewarding and relaxing gameplay loop for me. And I still find myself coming back to this game from time to time just to experience it, and I can't wait for this new blacksmithing DLC that's coming out soon. That's going to be great. Another game that nails this feeling in its own way for me is The Witcher 3. I remember walking around White Orchard for the first time and being spat at and yelled at and overall just treated like a total freak. Right off the bat, this game lets you know that you are looked at as a total outsider. People do not like or trust Witchers, and you feel that from the moment you step foot into a new town. However, this is another game that nails ambience and music so well. Riding Roach down a beaten path and just walking through the woods on a moonlit night makes me feel like I'm transported straight into the pages of the books. Another element of this game that CD Projekt Red didn't have to include, but totally fleshes out the world for me, is a little game called Gwent. This is a full-fledged collectible card game within the game world, and it in itself is so much fun that they made a separate game called Thronebreaker based on the card game, but with a separate story that uses the card-based combat to tell its own story. And if you haven't checked it out and are wanting to experience some more Witcher content, I highly recommend. But often, in The Witcher 3, I would find myself just heading to the local tavern after a long day and just sitting down and playing some Gwent. Another aspect of The Witcher that I really love that others can sometimes find tedious is the bestiary. Before each encounter, it is highly recommended to read the bestiary and to be prepared for the next fight, looking at what oils, bombs, and signs each monster you'll be up against is susceptible to. This is such a cool element of the game for me because it totally nails the fantasy of being a Witcher. You take a contract from the local board, investigate the area, determine what monster you could be up against, read the bestiary to learn more about your foe, brew the relative potions and elixirs, and prepare for your fight. This loop is so cool and engaging to me because it really makes me feel like Geralt, a renowned monster slayer using his knowledge to take down these various monsters. And finally, we have to talk about Skyrim. This was the first game for me that I truly felt immersed in. Now, I'm sure I had moments in other games from my childhood, but something about the combination of the age I played it, 12, and finally getting a pair of headphones and a comfy gaming chair that allowed me to really, totally immerse myself in this world. I remember reaching Riverwood for the first time, watching the local miller throw massive logs onto the saw, listening to the distant waterfalls and streams running through the town. And the moment that really sticks out to me still is stepping foot in Riverwood for the first time. The text pops up, Riverwood discovered, and the track changes to the town music of Skyrim. You hear Sven talking with his mother and Alvor, the local smith, hammering away, and it truly transports you into another world. I could spend so much time just mingling around Riverwood, from the cozy tavern at the Sleeping Giant Inn, to hunting in the surrounding forests. As a kid, I spent so much time here. And then I finally decided to head out to Whiterun. And that's when this game blew my tiny brain. I saw distant mountains behind a massive fortress of a town, the farmland below, and the valleys and trees on the horizon, and it hit me. I can go there. I was absolutely blown away. I had never experienced a world that allowed me this level of freedom before. And no matter anyone's opinions on Skyrim, dumbing things down, etc., that will never change the impact this game had on my development of a love for open-world RPGs. And to this day, whenever I need a reset or a place just to decompress when the world is a bit too loud, I always gravitate to Skyrim. Whether it's on my Switch sitting outside on the swing, or in my room with the warm lamps on and a cup of tea, this game will always feel like home to me. I swear I know Whiterun better than I know some areas of my hometown, and everything from the art direction to the sound design and music to the world design. Skyrim just ticks so many boxes of mine, and I will always hold it in a special place in my heart. The older I get, the more I realize that these quiet, unplanned moments are what keep me coming back. Just like when I go hiking or on a good vacation, I rarely remember the destination itself as much as the little things that happened along the way. The way the light hit through the trees, or the quiet sound of the creek running through the rocks. Games give us that same feeling. They let us wander, let us pause and breathe in a world that someone carefully built. Not for us to always rush through, but sometimes just to simply exist in it. And I think a lot of us can take that for granted now. Rushing through, not letting ourselves take the time to look at the little things. And I think that's why I love these games so much. They aren't just entertainment, they're little worlds that someone created that I can get lost in. When the music swells as you reach a hill, and when a village hums to life as you pass through, the crunch of your boots on the dirt make me feel so grounded in a totally different world. And that's art. And not art that you just get to look at, but art you get to live inside of. And that's why it's in these in-between moments when the gameplay quiets down and the action settles that these games leave a deep, lasting impact on me. And it's these games that allow the moments to breathe and are unafraid of letting things quiet down that stick with me more than any other gaming experience. And that might just be me, but these are the reasons I keep coming back. So thank you guys for sticking around and listening to my little ramble about immersion in video games and what it means to me. I hope I've inspired you to go back and play some of your favorite games and experience them again. Sometimes our brain needs that, just to go back to a comfort game and spend a little time in. But anyways, I hope you guys have a fantastic day, and I'll have more content coming on the way soon. But thank you all for sticking around and for all the love and support. And just stay cool and stay good and have a great, great day. I'll see you later. Bye.